Have you ever settled in for an epic gaming session, only to hear your console start roaring like a tiny jet engine? Or worse, felt its casing radiate heat like a miniature sun? What if I told you that silent overheating could quietly kill your beloved PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch, literally cooking its insides? We've all experienced it, that telltale whine of a fan working overtime, desperately trying to keep your digital adventures from turning into a meltdown. It's a common story. You're deep into a graphically intense new title, or maybe it's just a sweltering summer day, and suddenly your console sounds like it's about to lift off. That's because the heat inside these powerful machines can easily climb past 60 degrees Celsius, sometimes even soaring over 90 degrees in extreme cases. Think about that for a moment. That's hot enough to scald you, and it's certainly not ideal for delicate electronics. Prolonged exposure to those kinds of temperatures can severely damage your console's internal components, shortening its lifespan significantly. So why does this happen? Well, it's a mix of factors. First, external temperatures absolutely play a role. When the mercury climbs above, say, 30 degrees Celsius, your console is already fighting an uphill battle. Nintendo even issues official warnings about using the Switch in extreme heat, which tells you how serious this can get. Then there's the internal heat generation. Running a graphically demanding game is like asking your console to perform a high-intensity workout. It pushes the processor's memory and graphics chips to their limit, generating immense heat. Older consoles, in particular, often struggle to keep up with the demands of modern titles. Your console comes with an internal fan, a dedicated little hero designed to move that hot air out. But sometimes, that fan simply can't do its job effectively. Maybe dust bunnies have formed a cozy blanket over the vents, or pet hair has clogged the airflow channels. Even simply placing your console in a tight, enclosed space can restrict its ability to breathe. So what can we do to give our consoles a fighting chance? It really starts with thinking about its environment. We often place our consoles tucked away in entertainment centers or next to other heat-producing electronics, which essentially turns them into an oven. Always aim for a dark, cool spot, away from direct sunlight or the warmth of other devices. And here's a tip often overlooked. Consider the surface it sits on. Materials like wood, cardboard, or even carpet can absorb and trap heat, acting like an insulator rather than helping to dissipate it. Opt for a hard, open surface where air can flow freely around the console. Ventilation is truly key. Make sure all the external vents are clear and unobstructed. You shouldn't have books, cables, or decorative items blocking those crucial escape routes for hot air. And speaking of vents, sometimes the problem lies deeper. Over time, dust and pet hair can accumulate inside the console, caking up the fan and heat sinks. For many consoles, like the PlayStation 4 or 5 and most Xbox models, you can actually open them up and carefully clean out the grime. It's a bit more complex for something compact like the Nintendo Switch, and doing so might void your warranty. So proceed with caution or consult a professional if you're unsure. Another interesting point. If you have the option, digital games often generate less heat and noise than physical discs. When you pop in a disc, the console's optical drive spins and reads it, which adds to the internal workload and, you guessed it, generates more heat. Switching to digital downloads can offer a slight but noticeable improvement in temperature management. Now, sometimes, prevention isn't enough, especially during those scorching summer days. When your console is already running hot, you might need to actively cool it down. A simple, effective tool is a small fan. Direct the airflow towards the console's vents, but not so close or strongly that you force hot air back inside. The goal is to encourage the hot air to move away from the console as quickly as possible. You can also try a cooling mat, like those designed for laptops or even pets. These don't actively generate cold, but they absorb heat from the object resting on them without creating condensation. For a quick, temporary fix, you can even use a cool pack or an ice pack. Just be absolutely sure to wrap it in a towel or cloth to prevent any condensation from dripping into your electronics. Water and consoles do not mix. But only use this method for short bursts. You don't want to overcool it either. Here's one crucial piece of advice we often get wrong. If your console is hot and loudly panting, don't just immediately shut it off. Give it some time. Try to cool it down using the methods we just discussed, and if possible, simply end your current gaming session. Let the fan continue to run while the console is still powered on. Those fans are most efficient at expelling hot air when the system is still active. Powering it down instantly can sometimes trap residual heat inside, which can still cause damage. Ultimately, if your console consistently runs hot, regardless of its environment or your cooling efforts, it might just be a sign of aging hardware struggling with today's demanding games. But by paying attention to its surroundings, keeping it clean, and knowing how to help it cool down, you can extend the life of your gaming companion for many more adventures to come. What are your go-to tips for keeping your console chill? Let us know on social media, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech insights delivered right to your feed.